Okay, so I didn't want to leave you hanging with this issue of how we're going to create a human culture better than the culture today in a situation where all the big decisions are made by AI. And it seemed to me that the obvious way to do that is like when we assign AI the task of fixing one of these challenges, that we really make it into four tasks. First of all, to fix that challenge of humanity, but then also to create immersive holodeck experiences so that we can satisfy the need after the problem has been fixed of people sort of working out their celebration of success and their feelings about how the world has changed. So that would include the activists who were behind the problem being solved, the people opposed to the activists, the deniers and stuff, and then the neutral people who are just happy to see it fixed, but don't feel particularly strongly about the activism. So all three of them would have immersive experiences in holodeck, kind of that they could involve multiple instances of self. Maybe this would be a practical use of the metaverse. This is what the metaverse would be for, that once we solve one of these big problems, what are the people who were engaged in that problem going to do now? And so we have to create experiences for them that they would enjoy, that they would find entertaining. And so you can imagine then that those experiences deal with decision making. How did humans make decisions in the past? How do machines do it now? Can machines with the most important decisions, although they're more intelligent than we are, can they explain it in a way that we can understand how their superior decisions were made and how they work and what they mean? Yeah, and that would all be quite satisfying, and you could make it into something that's quite a lot of fun. And then, okay, so then we've got the idea that humans are adaptable and we're adapting. Yeah, but what about the Hollywood strike and the writers and the actors and the artists and so on? What about those people? Yeah, so don't you think that there is a lot of repetitive and not very interesting work in acting at the present, and maybe in writing too? And that AI can automate, can make much more easy all those repetitive tasks so that acting, writing, those parts of the Hollywood strike become more creative and less repetitive and waiting for things and doing things over to get them right and so on, that AI would streamline what actors have to do. But after you've done what you need to do, then there would be the AI version of you that you would control, you would benefit from the use of, but would do a lot of the boring, repetitive things that actors used to do in the past, right? And that just makes a lot of sense that that's how this would play out in the long run. It seems like that's fair and would work for everybody. I mean, we all benefit when the strike is solved. Um, I'm sure you're not gonna like this, but like we are looking at a future sometime when we probably don't use money at all, right? So the people who are totally motivated by money, um, they're gonna look pretty silly in the end, finally. So I think as we think about that, AI is going to do more and more of the work, particularly the unpleasant work, the work we don't enjoy doing. And we're going to have more and more a life of leisure. And yeah, we need to figure out how to structure that. And it's not an unpleasant thing to think about. It's kind of fun, how is this going to work? And so I think that needs to be factored in. The assumption that the world is just going to stay the way it is obviously wrong. That's the reason that we have this impasse at the moment. The world is changing very dramatically, and we have to react to that in a way that's fair to everyone. Yeah, so what about, okay, I've been talking in general terms. What about in my area? What about in like kidney medicine, kidney pathology? Like, what are we going to do with people who want to use famous people and give them a script and make them give a lecture or something? Well, I think the places to do that, or the place to start anyway, would be people who are no longer alive and who have been not alive for quite a long time, like Homer Smith and John Jacob Abel. And they were really excellent speakers, and there are lots of examples. And when movies began, they were both captured in quite adequate forms. So you could create a lecture of yours and have one of these famous guys give it, and it wouldn't interrupt anybody's revenue stream or royalty rights or whatever, and so it seems to me in our area that's the place to start with those dudes. And yeah, we're a little bit exploiting them, but they're not around, so they're not going to know. If we're going to exploit somebody, I think it's better to start with exploiting men rather than women. Yeah, so anyway, that's what I would suggest. And yeah, I'm happy to talk about it in more detail. But yeah, so anyway, that's the solution both to the Hollywood strike and then to what is Kim Solez going to propose for kidney medicine, kidney pathology? How is this going to play out there? As you know, we have a video legacy project that I'm doing jointly with Giorgino Piccoli. And so we have a large number of famous kidney medicine people that we have videos of them doing all sorts of stuff. So it's very comparable to famous actors in Hollywood. It's just a little bit more medical and scientific. Yeah, but I think the living ones, or the ones that have been living up until recent times, we shouldn't make fake videos of them, but maybe Homer Smith and John Jacob Abel would be fair game. That's my pitch anyway. Okay, I would welcome your feedback on this, and thank you very much.